I'll tell you about this as a storytelling as well. As a boy, I was a very stargazer as well, and used to listen to the stories about Pulunkishi, Tanakishi, Indrazatra, Kornamaya, and some of our temples still light up the oil lamps because they are prohibited to use the LED light or tungsten bulbs or things like that. So sound and light pollution are very much discarded in society, in our society even more. And about the lumens, I used to do study about that because I was a rider before. I used to ride bike. Saroz Ankit knows about that. And I used to tell that time also, the lumens are too high. Nowadays, the way the lights are put together is like they have high noise, but low output, That's the problem with the lights today. So it has to be the other way. High output and low noise it was supposed to be, but it's not happening. And I'm working also on a private bill in Parliament for this Assembly as a Climate Change Act. This has given me more light as well. And with the urban biodiversity, we are losing it. Like the number of sparrows are decreasing every time. And that's creating more mosquitoes. So dengue and other kind of malaria, these kind of diseases are coming up. And as Naresh mentioned before, I represent a very important cultural sites in Nepal. 2 World Heritage Sites are in the constituency that I represent. And the way the lights are put there, like it disheartens me. It's like big, ugly bulbs are put there. You don't see the temples or anything like that, and like it's ugly. And I've asked the metropolitan city and the site office there to do something about the light. And last time when Naresh called me, I told him about this as well. So I'm also thinking about doing it, but we don't have technical expertise on that, and KMC has allocated a very good amount of budget on that, about 20 crore rupees on the fixing the light of the heritage sites as well. If you go visit that right now, it's ugly. It has to be changed. Also, now I think this issue will be, this issue that we need to resolve now should be time relevant as well. Because there was an era when industrial revolution happened. That time the importance of light and these things were different, but now when new avenues open, the new problems create as well. That's why we sit together like this. We start somewhere to fix it. So mobile blue light has become psychological problem in human society right now. The blue light of the mobile, it has started making people more stupid now. They don't have that cognitive thinking anymore. The human interactions are getting lesser and lesser. Though we are in the same room right now, like if it's due to these kind of systems right now, we are detached from each other. Whereas like I was thinking about when you were giving your presentation, I was thinking about when we were kids, we used to gather in our neighborhood and do storytellings and stargazings and these kind of things. That's like the society is getting disconnected. And one thing, for your information, it'll be helpful as well. Humans, we as human, though we have developed, we've come here, the excitement of the fire has not reduced. That's the only thing, sitting by the fire, burning the fire and having conversation. So now also if you go somewhere and do the campfire, if you look at the fire that's burning in campfire, that'll mesmerize you. That'll get you closer to yourself. So that's the only thing that has not changed as all the developments has happened. Since the day we have discovered the fire, looking at fire has not lessened the mesmerization that we have. In the beginning, it was discovered. So this is a scientific fact as well. And it's really amazing, Akash, that you taking this concern in this, because this is what we need to pass on to the next generation as well. Because in the name of development, what we have faced here in Nepal and in the world, like it really concerns me that what will happen to the next generation, because these are not the things that we inherit, but this is the loan that we have for the coming generation as well. So you showing these concerns is very noble as well. And about light pollution, the LED light wrapped in the trees that has been discarded now, and the report already shows that lots of nocturnal animals have moved out of the city, and that is very harmful for the biodiversity of the city. That will eventually affect us in health-wise as well. In highways also, when the high lumen lights are lit up in vehicles, it makes the animals, wild animals, lato it's called, like they get mesmerized and they couldn't move anymore. They are like stuck there, you know. So, or some animals will chase the light and like the vehicles are in accident because the lights are chased. That's why in US now they've started spraying the luminous thing on the wild animals' horn and things like that, so the light would reflect and do not have accidents. So these kind of measures are being taken there. Light and our sleeping pattern has changed as well. As you've mentioned before, it is not just about like our psychological health, but it is about our vital organs as well. Because at midnight, our certain vital organs regenerate. So when light is there, they do not regenerate as much as like our liver regenerates at about 3 a.m. to 4 p.m. is the time where our liver regenerates. So vital organs regenerates when we sleep soundly, you know? And light has started disturbing that. That's why there are lots of problems in the society, mental health problem. People are angry all the time. So one thing is connected to another. And also, I think one very good argument on this would be, for that, I think our former Chief Justice would shed some lights on this. This is also against the natural law of justice as well, because the galactic clock, bio clock, and our body anatomy, and we going against that is also against the natural law of justice at the same time. So our digestive system also works when at night, like it shuts down. So when these lights are happening, unconsciously the digestive systems are functioning. That's why people have a lot of people have gastritis and these kind of problems. They are like puking out the unhealthy water, you know, things like that. So yeah, the solution to this could be research-based awareness is one beginning of this solution. As you've mentioned before, we start to talk about this, you know, like today it has started officially. Before we used to talk among our friends, but it was unofficial, but today with you starting this, and I'm really proud of you and I'd like to congratulate you on this. I think today is a historic event as well for the Nepal, because this is the first time officially this chapter has opened now. So you've just made a history by opening the chapter today. Research-based awareness, we can go on that. Another is regulations. On regulation, like local government, because installing the lights is on the jurisdiction of local government right now. So making them aware, making their system, finding that framework where they would put these things while installing the lights, you know. In China, there is a regulation where if people do not dim their light in a highway, the police would put them in front of the highlight and make them sit there for 15 minutes, you know. So how it affects to show them that. So we don't have to go in those kind of ultra extreme measures, but there can be something. So while doing this research-based awareness thing, I think the unit that we must include is local government. Because in our area also, if the light is needed, people go to local government and they say like that's how they install the lights, and those are not scientific at all. So low noise, high output, but now our focus is to do the low noise and high output. So if that works, and there are technicalities in that, it's even the angle of the light, how we put lumens. You've already mentioned about technicalities there. And about heritage area also, I think we can start working, because these are world heritage. So it could be pressure, like not just nationally, locally, but also internationally, because world heritage is considered like it's owned by everyone. And you've already mentioned about some precedents in France, US, and other countries. So maybe we could do the comparative analysis study of their implementation, because when I was in Provincial Assembly, I did the comparative analysis on Environmental Act in New York, that developed the Central Park. Another is the Environmental Act of 1998 in Canada as well. So we could do the comparative analysis and already do the harm reduction here. And the thing that I've learned is, like, I never, like, being a tourism entrepreneur before, stargazing could be such a tourism attraction as well, you know, because I know that people go to Easter Island to watch the stars, you know. In Nepali, it's called Akash Ganga, the Milky Way. And for us also, when we go to Mustang or Dareldura, so like just stopping there and looking up is mesmerizing. But in Kathmandu, we are losing stars every day more and more. Like the stars that I used to see as a boy, I don't see it anymore. So pilot projects could be another solution where we show it, not just preach about it or talk about it, but some pilot project. Maybe in the constituency that I represent, maybe we could work with local community, local government, and do some pilot project there in coordination and show the impact. In Nepal, the problem is all the political leaders would preach like big things like Gyansko pipe corporate and these things, but never happens. But these are some small projects that we could get done, So pilot project is one thing. And so about the regulation thing, I'm open to it. My secretariat is open to it. So if we could sit like this and work on National Light Pollution Act or things like that, we could start drafting it. So at least it could be a subject of argument in the parliament as well. Because we've already done some Sarvajanik public concern issues in parliament and it has worked pretty well. So this could be that as well. And being very polite and soft, our society is very resilient, so we can start by harm reduction measures as well. Rather than not challenging the understanding of the development of people right now, but to approach it humbly, So these are the harm reduction measures. It's harming you. Like your note in the end of your presentation, you didn't say that it's about the world, it's about the future. You said like it's about you. You being the victim of light pollution, you made aware to the people who were present in the room. So harm reduction measures. And I think best way that our society understands these kind of issue is through economic perspective. So if we make them understand this is what we are losing every year as taxpayers, Our energy consumption is going, but it's not being used, so we could reduce this. Saving is as earning, So if we could make people awareness thing in this perspective would be one very considerable thing. And at last, what I'd humbly request is to consider postmodernism. So let's not make mistake developed countries has made in the process of being developed, So that's why postmodernism theory could be a very good consideration for our kind of society and country that we are chasing. It's like a vicious cycle, They've reached there and they're wanting to come back. We are here, but we are wanting to go where they are, So that comparative analysis that we could give, like in a postmodernism theory, could be one very good glimpse. And in the end, thank you very much, everyone, for being here. It's not like regular, fashionable kind of issue, but still being concerned. Naresh Dai, Samanyaji, and everyone present here, these are the things that in the undercurrent of the society, that is the spirit of the society that's working. I'm really glad to be here.